आज ही डाउटनेट ऐप डाउनलोड करें। डाउटनेट पर होगा अब आपके सभी मैथ्स, केमिस्ट्री, फिजिक्स और बायोलॉजी डाउट्स का सफाया। बस अपने क्वेश्चन की फोटो खींचो, उसे क्रॉप करो और तुरंत वीडियो सोल्यूशन पाओ। डाउनलोड नाउ।
Okay, so the question what we have is here, limit x tends to pi by 2, 1 minus sin x, 8x cube minus pi cube cos x divided by pi minus 2x power 4. Okay, so this is what we have to solve this equation. So first what we can do in this question. Okay, so we will write out the solution first. Solution. It is given in the question that limit is x tends to pi by 2. X tends to pi by 2. Can we take x as pi by 2 minus h? Yes, definitely we can. And also now we can write h as pi by 2 minus x. Also if x tends to pi by 2, right, it means that now h will tends to 0 because x is pi by 2 minus h, which is equals to 0. So now what we will do, we will solve this question using the limit of h tends to 0. Here we can write 1 minus sin x. 1 minus sin x can be written as 1 minus sin x. Here is pi by 2 minus h, right? And further 8x cube can be written as 8 pi by 2 minus h cube minus pi cube, as it is cos pi by 2 minus h, right? It can be written like this. And for denominator, what we will do, we will write denominator equation as pi, same pi, minus 2, not x this time, we will write as pi by 2 minus h whole power 4, right? It can be written like this. Now what we will do, we will again resolve it into limit h tends to 0. Now this can be written as 1 minus sin 90 minus theta will become cos theta. So yes, we can write it as cos h, 1 minus cos h, and here 8 pi by 2 minus 2h. What we will do, we will take the LCM of 2. So 2 will become this side, 2 minus h. It will become pi minus h upon 8. And 8 will cancel out. So we can write it as pi minus 2h whole cube minus pi cube, same as it is here. Cos 90 minus theta will become sin theta, sin h, right? Now what we will do, we will take the denominator terms. Here we can write pi, this one will become 2, so 2 cancel out, we will cancel it out, right? And we can write it as 2, right? Okay, so it can be written as pi minus 2h whole power 4, right? So here we can write limit h tends to 0, 1 minus cos h, again same here, this one will open the pi cube minus 8h cube minus 6 pi square h. We will basically opening the formula of a minus b ka whole cube. No, we are using the formula a cube minus b cube. This one is a and this one is b. So 6 pi square h. Now this can be written as 12 pi h square minus pi cube, as it is. Now we will write sin h. When we will solve this equation in the above equation, we know that pi and pi will cancel out. It will become 2 and it will become 8, right? And no, this 2 ki power 4 will become 16. So what we will do, we will keep the 16 out of this equation. We can write it here, and the denominator will become h to the power 4. Now what we will do, we will write h to the power 3 here with the product of h single here, right? Now we know that sin h by h, when limit of h tends to 0, it will become what? Yes, it will become 1. So it can be done as 1 by 16 limit h tends to 0. This one will become 1. And here we can see in the above equation, pi cube and pi cube will cancelling out with each other. And here if we take h common from each term, then we will cancel out with the h cube, and there it will left like 1 minus cos h. It will become 12 pi h minus 8 h square minus 6 pi square, right, divided by h square. Now if we put the value of h tends to 0 here, what we will get? We will get it as 1 by 16. This one will become 0, and this is the further become h is denominator. Okay, so this is the value we are getting. This is an indeterminate value. So what we have to do here, when we will get a value 0 by 0, so in that case we will use L'Hospitality's rule, which states that now we have to differentiate numerator and denominator with respect to the variable h, and then take the limit. This is what we have to do now, right? So we will use the L'Hospitality's rule. Using L'Hospitality rule, now we will further solve this equation. This one here, it can be written as 1 by 16 limit h tends to 0. We will first 1 minus cos h differentiation will become sin h, and here 12 pi h will become, this one is become the product rule of the, this we are using product rule here, 12 pi h minus 8 h square minus 6 pi square as it is, plus now again we will write 1 minus cos h as it is. We are using product rule here, and it will become 12 pi minus 8, not 8 here, we will go 16 h divided by h square differentiation will become 2h, right, 2h. Now here we can see one thing also again, sin h by h when limit h tends to 0 will become 1. So now this can be done as 1, and here we can see in this equation we can see that 1 by 16, right, limit h tends to 0, it can be done as 12 pi h minus 8 h square minus 6 pi square by 2, plus again limit 0. This can be done as 1 minus cos h and then 12 pi minus 16 h. Okay, when we put the value of limit here, so it will become complete 0, because 1 minus cos h will become 0. So we can remove this term now. Now we will left out with this term, this part only. If we put the value of h here, so this one will become 0, 8h square will become 0, so we will left out with 6 pi square only, right? So what we will do now, we can write it as 1 by 16, 6 pi square will become minus 6 pi square by 2, that is 2, 3, and it will be this, and it will become minus 3 pi square by 16, and that will be our answer in this case. Minus 3 pi square by 16 is our answer. Now we will go to the question and check, is that option available? Yes, option D, this one is the right answer we have.
क्लास 6 से 12 से लेके नीट IIT JEE मेंस और एडवांस के लेवल तक 10 मिलियन से ज़्यादा स्टूडेंट्स का भरोसा। आज ही डाउनलोड करें डाउटनट ऐप या व्हाट्सएप कीजिए अपने डाउट्स 8400 400 400 पर।